Having conversations with my subconscious. Heard I talk in my sleep, so I guess I stay woke when I'm unconscious.
Can't you see me on that way?
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Yams here, and welcome to the YBG Podcast, episode 3. We're back here again for another one. We're gonna keep it lining up and coming. We got my man in the right-hand corner. We got all the man them here, so let's bring them in. Yes.
Yeah, done.
What you man saying? So today, we got another one for you. Another one to do
another one
industry,
and another
one. And the question is, can you have a healthy relationship in the creative industry?
No.
And also, hold on.
Quiet.
Relax.
And also, the follow-up question is going to be, what are the obstacles from having one? So, can you have a healthy relationship in the industry? And what are the obstacles from having one? So yeah, let's tackle this, man. What you want to say? Who wants to go first?
Let's start with the wise words of Chip. A wise man told me that in the public eye, you can't have no lover. And the private life is the happy life. So we got to take it like that.
I see.
What's the other one that he said then? He's 420. Yeah. Trying to drink more, have less sex or whatever.
Agua.
Drink more water, have less.
Yeah. No. What do you think about like relationships in the creative industry? Anyway, I think that's the first question we should ask.
Let's try to find some successful ones to see what's on. Will Smith.
That one is interesting, though.
It's a bit techy.
That one is
very techy.
Dr. Dre. It's probably
is his missus creative?
What?
Is Dr. Dre's missus creative? We're talking about two creatives together.
No, not really two.
Exactly.
But you have one. Like, I think the common one is maybe having one. And then also someone who's not in the creative industry, but then you can also we'll talk about both of them, innit? We'll talk about both of them.
If it's the case where it's just one party, then there's a load of successful like Kendrick.
What about over
here?
Yeah, people.
What about who?
Like over here in the UK, because I don't know many. Or maybe I'm not in
the UK.
Me. Is anyone even dating? Oh well, okay, yeah.
Jeremy's been married 7 years.
They've been married 7 years.
Yeah, Jeremy's been married for like around 7 years, probably more. He's got a youth.
Wow.
Man, I had no idea. Private life, as you said.
Yeah.
Great, fam.
Jeez.
So,
man's living.
What about like DJs and all that? Because you got like DJ Target and all them, man. They're all married. But
yeah,
do
DJ
they count?
Target.
I
Yeah,
say they count, innit? They all any creative person who is gonna be in the public eye counts.
Yeah.
Westwood.
Come on.
I could think of Notes as well. Notes is in one.
Oh,
he's in their relationship.
Well, no, Notes is not in a relation. No, I think Notes is talking to someone. I'm not too sure. I'm just
Unknown T. I know Unknown T is because he's always talking about his Sharky. My Sharky.
Trust me.
My Sharky. Baby to leave that trap.
Yep. Trap.
Trust me. There's not many, but we can't list bare. So there must be a reason.
Hey, what about Gigs?
Gigs?
What about Gigs?
I know he's got kids. I don't know if he's with the mum. Or if he's with the partner. That's a technical one.
Yeah.
So.
There's bare technical ones. So a lot of these people have kids, but it's like, are they with the baby mum?
Yeah, because Nate has a kid. I don't think he's with the baby mum. Freda's special.
So, like, for the fact that we're struggling to name some, what are like cool? Let's break it down. We're creative as well, innit? So, like, having a relationship, there's a lot that goes into it. Now, when you're in the public eye, it makes it even harder because I'd say it would make it harder for a lot of people because of the fact that you're getting attention from so many different types of people. You might not have a lot of time. So how can we balance all these things? So from a male perspective, you know what I mean? Because we're all males at the end of the day. I wouldn't know what to say on a woman's side.
I think we can only speak from what we know because we're all on a come up. We haven't experienced that level yet, if that makes sense. We can speculate, but I feel like a good question would be like in terms of on the come up on the grinds of getting to that. What's that conversation like? Like I let anyone that I'm speaking to, if it's a thing like that, if I'm actually wanting to build something, I have to let them know where I stand in terms of the dynamic of the relationship. It's not going to be a conventional thing, far from it, if anything. It's a lot of the time, especially in my world of production, I'm either always on a train or on a bus somewhere, and I'm never at yard. Like I'm always trying to like be at a studio, or I'm trying to be at an event, or I'm trying to build on a relationship that takes time, and that's because a lot of my time.
So time management is I'd say one of the issues could be like time management, because time management you got so much things to do to try and get where you need to get to even before you get to the big stage. Because when you get to the big stage, it's even probably harder.
10 times double the amount of work and commitment and that.
It's like go on, Red.
We're talking like nights where you come home and you just go to sleep and that because you just done a night shift, or one of them ones where if you're like a producer or engineer or even an artist that's just in the studio and that making an album or mixtape, whatever. There are gonna be times where you're gonna come home like the next day, innit? So it's really truly time management is definitely important in the day and that, innit? And plus you gotta take this to some consideration as well. You're gonna be in studio with like girl them, innit? And maybe these girls they may not be right in their head. They might try to adopt you or something on thing them way there, innit? So one of them ones where time management, also communication, innit? Like letting the girl know that
communication is
letting the girl know that fam, like what? Like Gally were moving to me and that, innit? And it's one of them ones I wasn't moving to them. You gotta let them know what I'm going with that.
But they would never know the full story because they weren't there.
Exactly.
That's where trust comes into it.
Trust comes into it heavily, man.
That takes time to build as well, man. You don't just build that within 2 months. And I feel like maybe some people try to possibly rush that process, but you can't rush it.
I think Cadet's last video that he made, the one that he done this year, there was one where the actor was basically they was playing a role, like they was trying to become like a professional actor, and then the girl that they was with, they was with him at the beginning stage, like the grafting, even through the grinding period, they was with him. But then when he started to go clear, started to get nominated for stuff, she'd be like, take your too much times at the award shows, too much times here, ABC. But then he was just like, this is what we was working towards. So like you have to. I feel like the vision has to be broken down, but they have to understand it when it gets there as well. So that's another thing as well, Carl. Like I've always thought to myself, like if you're reaching such a height of success, like is the woman comfortable enough to say, yo, because it could be a stage where she doesn't even have to work. Like she could be with you, supporting you, but then find the grind there to maybe she can make bread in a different way in the industry that you're in. Like it doesn't have to always be in front of the cam, it could be behind the scenes, because you're gonna be with people that are connected in different ways. So it's just like if they've got the mentality to that, because their life, it could, I don't want to say compromise, but it could be like build an imbalance, if you get what I'm saying. So say for example, if you've got loads of like European tours, or like depending on what you're doing, if you're an actor, if you've got to be from A, B, C, all of these places, and then the woman's doing like just a standard job or something, there's maybe a night shift or something like that. It's just like, where's the time for both of you?
Yeah. So what is the prior? So because like, especially in the come up, prioritizing, sometimes like we especially as especially as creatives, from our point of view, like we're very emotional when it comes to our work and everything. So it gets emotionally draining. So it's a fact of whether they can handle that sort of emotion and that sort of time, because they will be going through so many different things. You'll be this is someone who's actually active as well, like jumping from studio, probably at home writing and stuff like that. There's just days you don't want to talk at all. There's days you want to be by yourself. Can the person handle that? You know what I mean?
I think balance. That's where balance comes in. To be fair, if this person's willing to balance everything for you to make it easier, and you do the same thing as well.
I also think that they need to have the same type of vision and belief system, innit? Like, especially belief system, because regardless of like where you get to in terms of your creative aspects or perspectives, if you always have that same belief system or vision, then let's say me popping won't have so much of an effect on whoever I'm with, because they'll have that understanding, they'll be grateful and they'll be able to vibe with that. But if they're going to be uncomfortable with the fact that I can't cater to them as much, perhaps for a duration of time, not all the time, but there will be times when man might be busy and I might not be able to speak to them as much, that type of stuff. But if they can't handle that, that's when it gets a bit kind of peak. And difficult. And
like, that's what I think vision is so important in this, because like a creative, it's not normal, innit? Like, if a creative blows, you're not just changing your life, you're changing everyone's life around you.
For real.
It's mad. Like, you could change your family's life. Like, you could take your family out of your whole area. Like, it's mad. Like, you could build by your parents' houses. Like, it's crazy. But it's just like, if the individual you're with, they have to see it like this as well. And that's through all stages, because even that's another thing. Like, it could get to a stage where you're on the verge of that, but because you're not investing as much time, it can get annoying on the other half side, which is understandable. But how do you balance that?
So I'm gonna give a scenario. Sorry, go on.
I was just saying that is a process, man. I feel like because everyone as individuals has their different upbringings in it. So I feel like it's just a matter of being willing to be vulnerable with each other, talk about it, and just communicate in it. If you don't talk about it, then you're not going to go nowhere in it. You'll be frustrated, and you'll just get to a point because of the lack of talking. One person's going another way, another person goes a separate way. So it's definitely just the whole process, and just willing to go through that process, because a lot of people say, I'm down with you. But when it gets heat, they can't handle the heat, you know?
That's what I'm saying. That's why that's why I feel like it's usually good if the other person, they've been through struggle as well, because when they're seeing the grind, they're used to that, innit? They're used to that type of thing, and their mind isn't in the fairy tale land. Like, So when it comes to when they see you putting in the work, it's not, oh baby, you don't have time for me. It's like, oh yeah, I see where you're coming from, because man's lived that life, and if you got what I'm saying. So even though even though male, 100, they're allowed to have that side, of course, but you have to understand that now it's not the time for that side. Like that time, because remember, if you submit to that, it's a creative world. There's like 5 men that will overlap you just like that, just because of that maybe 1 week where you said, all right, cool, I need to be a bit compassionate and whatever. But in that 1 week, if you're an actor, that's peak. If you imagine in the world of an actor, bro, like that could affect your whole script. It could affect everything, and like you just Yeah, you just go down the bottom of the barrel and then you have to restart. And of course, timing is key for everything, but sometimes you delay yourself as well. And I feel like that's one thing.
You know what's funny, yeah?
True.
Yeah, you know what's funny? You know what's funny is that Charles said an interesting point. The key of a relationship here is, are you willing to take certain things from the opposite sex? Like, because end of the day, if there's no will in something, then it's not gonna last. And end of the day, yeah, over time, there's gonna be a time and place where your relationships is gonna be put to the test. You know, it could be any situation in that. It could be any situation in that. But just bear in mind, like, if you're going through like a hard time and it doesn't make no sense in that, it's a test. So it's like,
100%.
that's what I'm trying to say. If you're not willing to do anything in the relationship, it can even be small, medium, big. If you're not willing to do anything of that, then it's like, of course, the relationship is not gonna last, man. At the end of the day, what people are not realizing is that, bruv, life has three things: a beginning, and a middle, and an end. And depending how you set your life, or whoever sets your life as well, it's going to determine how your relationship's going to be.
Oh yeah, that's
there's different seasons, man, in life, bro. There's a spring season where it's all nice and new, you're all gassed. There's summer, okay. Then it gets to fall and winter. Those peak seasons where it's hard, isn't it? It's just a cycle.
It's gonna be a cold summer.
Shout out Fab.
But
So
quick one though, because I wanted to talk about in a different dynamic, because sometimes you're in a relationship but you're working with a creative, and that can create problems in terms of certain sacrifices have to be made in regards to, well, the obvious one is time, but also like that building of the relationship as well, especially in the earlier days. Like I worked with projects, let's say like boom, Rez's project took 6 months. That's 6 months of him coming at the time at uni, spending time with him personally, working on a project, hard work. That's all that's on my mind right now. And let's say, cool, I was in a relationship during that time. I would have to literally make time for Reds and make time for the partner.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, and for me, my work comes first. At the end of the day, because I'm building something, like, it's not because my career started way before I was even interested in girls. I was always a creator, so it's a thing of the sensitivities of that, and knowing the responsibility you have on yourself to not lie to yourself. If you know in yourself that, I know that it's either I'm taking the 6 months out. If I take that, there's a chance of me losing her. Because at the end of the day, she doesn't want to waste her time, or he doesn't want to waste their time building a relationship with that person, because it requires that time element. And with music, it's not a quick turnaround. It's a long process, especially when you're building a portfolio or you're performing everywhere. Like, this thing is not a quick turnaround. So knowing that there's always has to be an element of sacrifice and patience. 100%.
Yeah,
100, man. Yeah.
So on before, there's some other stuff I want to touch here, but this thing that just came to my mind here, as the creative, and I'm talking about in terms of not having a creative before I talk about going out with a creative. Do you have to play as that person? So let's say that we take an artist or an actor. Let's say mainly an artist, because an artist is a bit more kind of interactive in terms of, because of the fact that that's their personal work. Do you feel do you have to play up that kind of role that I'm the guy, or I'm the baddest bee? You get hella man them looking at you, you get hella girl them looking at you, and stuff like that. and it kind of can cause a bit of friction and tension. So is it a thing where do you portray yourself to be this type of thing? Because character makes you also put yourself out there at the end of the day. So can you do that in a relationship? Can you say, okay, cool, yeah, I'm the gallus man, but then I got a girl that's my main girl there, but you know, I have to be in this type of way because that's what the public like, and that's how I get people to draw into my music. What can we do? You know what I mean?
I mean, with that, like it's because there's not many. I think there's really not many couples that are like, especially in music. I can only think of like Steph London and Burner that are like two creatives together. Even like I remember I saw on Steph's Snap one time. She was in a strip club with Burner Boy. And I was just like, oh right, that's interesting. In Nigeria. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
I saw that one. That was lit.
Oh no.
I was like, wow, that's new. I never thought of that. Like, I thought, like, in my mind, I was just thinking, wow, like, so, man he's creating that thing, but then, like, he can get home and then he has his main, but he doesn't even have to throw the money at her, because, like, it's sense. Would you even throw the money at her, car? Your girl's watching you, like, that's a bit tight as well.
She's encouraging she's just having a good time. Like, don't take it too deep in it, in them settings.
Yeah. Some people will take it deep. That's another thing. I think maybe because, but for her to be there as well, maybe that's an element of she likes it as well.
She's okay with it, fam. She's calm.
She's calm with it. Yeah. So that was like a new perspective of me seeing things, because like you ain't gonna see Kanye and Kim out there in them type of settings, are you? Like even if Kim wanted it, Kanye.
I want to say
B. I'll
see them.
Yeah, that's for them too. Yeah,
fam,
from time jump on the stage, bro.
From time they done a music video called Clout, and then Cardi B's there on the waist of Offset and that, fam. It's like
having a good time.
This is normal. This is normal for them and that, fam.
But that goes back to the end of the thing, because that's Cardi's brand, but also that's Cardi. It feels like when you hear Cardi in interviews, you feel like that's her persona as well. Like that's her aura. I feel like that's just a natural element of her.
This is who she is.
I feel like it's each to their own, man. Honestly, like personally for me, if you ask me this question, like, fam, you will never see me in a strip club or all that stuff, man. Because I'm the type of person, bruv. I'm a very private person, bruv, and I try to be as much as possible in it. I remember the last.
Don't say never. Don't say never. You never know. Don't say that and then let people pull your business later.
I'm dead. No. What? They can call me.
Remember, like in this episode,
they can call me. No. People can call me out wherever, innit? Like, check, bruv. If I don't want, Bob, do your research in it. What? Like, man's a private person. I don't really like to go out that much, especially when I'm in a relationship. In fact, the last time I was in a relationship, I hated when people approach me, bruv. So it's like, get me. Why would
That's a good one. That's a good question, because, bro, as an artist, how are you going to react to that, car? You're going to get approached. That is
all right, cool. With that question. All right, cool. With that question,
talk from experience.
Are you going to do an M. Huncho thing? Grab the mask.
Grab a mask.
I might do that still, but that might be my next move.
I might do that as well, man. Because end of the day, fam, it's not that, bruv. It's not. Sometimes I'm just like, bruv, it's not that deep, man. Like, get me? Like, it's one of them ones where, like, I have days where man's busy and that, man. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna always reach out to everyone. Obviously, I'll do the best I can, innit? But if I don't reach out to you, like, get me? My apologies, my bad and everything, innit? But don't go fit about it. Get me, bruv. Like, it's always. I don't want to sound rude, but there's always a next time, innit?
Yeah. It's energies as well, man.
Trust me.
Can't be giving my energy like left, right, center, man. I need some energy for myself, innit? So.
Hey, fam, this ain't no Dragon Ball Z stuff where man needs to give people energy and that, bruv. So you can create some next Death Spirit Bomb and that, bruv. Some of these times and that, bruv.
Let's take it back a bit, Carl. I want to talk about let's talk about that partner now and their interests, because I feel like it's very important.
Yeah.
A lot of my time is either I'm listening to music, I'm creating music, or I'm making something around something creative, or it's artistic. If the person is not interested in that at all, for me, it creates two problems.
Get out! I'll tell her.
There's the door. Exit.
Oh, no. Get out.
It's not gonna work, honestly. For me, my life, it ain't gonna work. Still, I can't lie. I'll probably just tell the girl straight up, like, if you ain't got the same, if you're not as passionate, like, imagine, like, my life. If you're not sharing the passion, bro, like, I'm on tour. There's girls that are flipping singing my songs back to back. I'm gonna be tempted like there's no tomorrow, bro.
There'll be some girls throwing pennies at you and stuff like that, bro. How are you gonna handle that?
Of course. And like, and the one person I'm going home to, she doesn't even give it the time of day. It's long. Psychologically, it's gonna have an effect on man.
Yeah,
it's true.
Because we're living in a different world. It's not like we're in an office where, just there's the average employee that might flirt with man. We've got fans, bro. Like, it's different.
Yeah,
like, we've got
different,
fans.
right.
I guess it depends on your prerogative as well, because there's some man there that literally they don't even like touring, fam. You get me? So when they go on tour, they're like,
Listen, don't be an artist. Forget you, bro. Real talk, man. Why are you even an artist, bro?
That's the thing that's some man that, like, even like with the old like with the new generation, innit? Like, obviously, ideally some of them want to tour, but some of them just want to they just want 1 million views. You get me?
Yeah. Want that exposure.
Or there's some that just like to make money from streams.
I mean, it's like, I just feel like in terms of their prerogative, it's
the love's different, but that's a whole nother story from.
Yep.
So
the girl they need to like you in as a person.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the main thing, regardless of what you do in it. You got interest.
They don't even have to like your. They don't even have to like your sound per se, but they have to like they could just like the effort that you put in. Like, that could be something that could attract them. Yeah.
You get
like,
me?
yo, I see you putting in work as a grinder. All of that, yeah.
So get me.
It's not every song they gotta like, you know, man. It's not that deep, innit? Get me?
Bruv, even as artists, we don't even like all of our songs. So how are you gonna expect them to like?
Hey! I love myself, man. Keep yourself.
No.
Man had to get his microphone closer just to clarify that. Like,
oh my god. But yeah, no. So we got as an obstacle, we got time, we got women. That all comes into time, innit? Like, I'm talking about the obstacles mainly. We got time, we got women. What else? We got
the public.
Paparazzi.
Yeah, social media is another one we need to go into. Actually, I think that's a few.
That gets sticky.
Yeah, social media.
It's gonna get mad.
Now, listen.
I'm not on your timeline.
Listen, I'm bringing something.
I don't want to hear that one though.
I'm bringing something. Charles, you're on the lines of where I want to come to.
He's gonna talk about Mr. Heavy as the Head.
Wait, let me drop on.
That's gonna get tense.
So now, I'm gonna bring different aspects here, because this all counts. Now, you two are both creators, and you both don't want your relationships to be known.
What's the job? What's the occupation of the creative?
Let's say, okay, one's an artist, and let's say the other one is give me a creative industry job.
Actor.
Tennis, since flipping YBG Corday.
A journalist.
Actor.
A journalist.
Actor. Yeah.
Let's take an actor.
That's not creative. Well, a journalist ain't a great.
It's creative.
Is it? Journalist?
Yeah, it is under creative.
What? Because they hold the camera.
Journalism is journalism.
Are you not going to run interviewing different people and on tour sometimes as well?
Do you know
a journalist is not really a creative. They're more reporter.
Hey, Red,
Yeah.
turn it down though. It seems like you're sticking it on me today. I can't lie, I feel pressure.
Hey, fam, we love the guy, man.
Tone it down, Jan. Tone it down. Slow it down,
I'm
Jan.
talking normal. I am talking.
it can be, but if you're doing your own work, if you're working for a company, then it's not creative.
I'm
I'm joking,
Yeah,
it's
it's not
all love.
Yeah,
It's all love. It's all love.
It's 50-50. It's all love. 50-50. So yeah, you
So, that's calm.
actor, you got an actor, and you got a musician. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to publicize your relationship. Certain things that you do needs to be in a certain type of way because of the attraction. Is it okay for the couple? Is it okay for your partner or whatever to be more kind of haggling over, even though they kind of understand the same things that you're going through? Like, you should be like this on the gram. I know we're not in a relationship, but you should do this. You should do this. You should be like this. You know what I mean? And also, what are you saying about that?
That's long. For me, I don't like that. So don't do that for me.
Trying to be controlling, man. Like,
That's
no one likes to be controlled. No one likes to be controlled in history. You're trying to control another man.
I listen.
Yeah.
I'll say I've got management for that. I don't need you in my ears to like that.
Man don't do no whip. Man don't do no whips and chains and that, innit? So like, don't come with that talk with me. Because if you wanna do that, but we can take it back to the roots anytime, any place.
Whoa.
Tell a girl them. And this woman, and this person, this woman, she's popular, innit? She's bare popular. And then you are popular. Let's say you're a popular actor, yeah. You're out there.
Right.
You got hella, you're there. You got hella girls shouting out your name and stuff like that. They're talking about you, and then your gal who's also in the industry, she's hearing the same things. Wow. How do you think that every relationship plays out differently, innit? But like the pressure to not also be known, like it weighs up.
It does weigh up. Definitely. Yeah.
Who's more popular as well?
Exactly.
Ooh, that as well. Yes.
It's always good to determine things.
I just listen to Stormzy lessons, bro.
I must say in this case the male is more popular.
Like,
What do you mean in the scenario or in general?
In the scenario.
The scenario. Okay.
I'm gonna give you. I've got other scenarios coming as well.
Yeah.
do you know what? I feel like it comes down to like your principles, isn't it? Well, person, what you stand for, and what's meaningful for you in it. Because money or not, you still gotta come home to see that person, innit?
Yep.
You're still gonna have that conversation. So
yep.
I feel like if there's a certain principle you abide by and they abide by, it's calm. Once things get miscommunicated or blurry and out of pocket in the sense of you used to be like this, but then things changed and now you're like this. If there's no communication during that period of growth or development, then someone's gonna fold, and it's normally the person that has less. I'll just be real.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very important as well, to always know who you are, like in the early stages and that, and always like to evaluate yourself, innit? Maybe not between yourself, evaluate with whoever you're with, innit? You get me?
Okay, next one now, yeah. One is known, one is unknown. Pictures on the gram.
What pictures?
Damn.
Like for instance, so in terms of what I mean is that you have no pictures of your couple, of you two together, but you guys in a relationship now. We're going for that.
The only photos that are out there are the ones that you take of your partner, and she uploads it, but not with you. You know the ones where like a girl gets their guy to take a photo of them somewhere, but they don't actually have a photo together.
Not even them ones. No, nothing is nowhere. You guys want to keep your relationship. You guys don't want to keep your relationship. It's hard. Wait, hold on. Let me compensate.
I get it though.
You want to keep things going, yeah, but you don't want the public eye to know that you're in a relationship because of the media attention.
Okay.
Can I add a little salt and pepper to that? Can I add a little?
Yeah.
Add
Either way.
Could it be a scenario where both individuals have pictures with opposite sex on their Insta already, or their socials already?
Yes.
Nah.
What, prior or after the relationship?
Before. Oh yeah.
Both.
Man said, bro, that gets techie, bro. That's
that relationship is over.
You know what?
Why is it over?
It's not over, bro. It's not
Why
over.
is it over?
Why is it over, man? Go on.
Why is it over?
Yeah.
Oh no, I just wanted to cause controversy.
Social media is introduced like
you know what, yeah?
the whole dynamic when it comes to relationships, issues. Without internet, social media, things will calm. But with social media now, it's easy to cheat, it's easy to flirt, and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And it introduces all these different problems that, let's say, 10 plus years ago never existed.
Don't forget about memes.
And also even people's pictures and stuff like that.
Even 2 weeks ago, I think Young Jeezy, he proposed.
This
week, man, I'd open my Snapchat and it says, "Oh, is Young Jeezy wrong for sliding into a model's DM?" I was like, bruv, I don't know the whole story, but now I'm portraying this in one way. Like, he could have just said, "Oh yeah, I want you in a video shoot," but now man thinking, "Whoa, what's going on, fam?" Like,
one thing is,
yeah, fam, that's
mad. It's actually mad. Like, the social thing is actually mad. Like,
especially and plus these guys are not these. When you're creative, you're popping in it, like on social. Like, ideally, because on social media, it's for people that do interesting things, isn't it? Exactly. No one likes a normal person on social media. Like, it's not really the common thing, innit? So
that's why loads of people, like, in different generations, they say that social media is just like a room full of fake people, because you could just create your own fantasy, basically. Like,
it is. You can create anything you want and make it a reality, fam.
Oh, trust.
You know,
so
I can take a picture. Like, it could be funny, and I could take a picture on my balcony now and say that I'm in Benidorm, and people will believe it, fam. Like, it's mad.
And you get 1,000 likes for that, like, just because you said it in one place.
Yo, fam, you're living, bruv. You made it in life, bruv.
Yeah, all of that, winning, up, all of that,
bruv. You useless.
Link up soon, broski, with those type of stuff.
All of them things. It's happened so many times. One time I seen somebody, they was in Dubai or something like that. I was like, I messaged him. I was like, yo, I'm winning. He was like, "Oh no, this is my post from like a year ago." I was like, "Allow me, like, what's this?"
You know what? Hey, you know what? I know something even madder as well. So
don't name drop though. You can't name drop.
I'm not name dropping.
Don't
name dropping.
Don't name drop.
No names, bro. Question things,
Fam.
Carry on.
Like, there's an artist that put a picture up 2 years ago, innit? One guy responds saying that, you're living and everything. And obviously the artist said that, bruv, this picture is from 2 years ago, especially where we're in quarantine and that, bruv. Yeah. Am I baiting anyone out? Exactly.
That's strike free, bro. You've added me 3 times. We're trying to war on this.
My man sent to the diss track.
But guys, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. So we have time management, social media.
Bro, what's the conclusion for the social thing? Because we never come to the conclusion for the social
thing. No, we're gonna conclude on that, innit? But I say for social media, I feel like it's like social media is like, it's basically online press, innit? Like, you've got bare people in your DMs. You've got hella girls showing you love. You'll see some mad things that you probably never have seen before. You got like places like Shade Borough talking about your relationship, finding any single little things. Me personally, social media doesn't work in a relationship. I'm so against it. It doesn't work, especially as creative. Because you've got people, you got so. Because it depends on. Sorry, Lex. What do you want to say?
I was saying, like, I just want to, I guess, clarify a bit more. So, in the sense of like you letting social media know that you're in a relationship with a person, that can never work. Is that what you're trying to say?
I think not necessarily letting people know that you're in one. It's more the fact that the reports going on around you, you know, the speculations like destroy a lot of things. Like like imps. I don't know too much about the Maya Jammeh thing, so if you can elaborate on that, then cool.
No, that's just hot, man.
Hey, you know what's funny?
That's all technical, fam, Carl. Like I heard that they broke up before it got announced and all of that. So, and the fact they got announced, like if you broke up, in my head, that's all weird. Like if you broke up before you got announced, like, why are you gonna announce it then? Like, mad. But
probably still lingering feelings there, isn't it?
Yeah, because that's already gonna portray everyone in one way now. Because now we know Stormzy is a cheat, and then now Stormzy's had to make a song to justify this, and like it's just.
And this we actually don't even know the full reason, fam, because he never actually said.
It was funny, yeah.
We know bits and pieces.
Yeah, and to be fair, he doesn't even need to tell everyone the full reason. If we're honest,
that's the thing. He doesn't. But now it's built like indirectly. Like in my mind, I still kind of want to hear Maya talk, but I've never heard Maya talk about that. So like,
I don't think she wants to.
Yeah, that's another thing as well.
It's a brand.
Now, why is that in my mind now? Because it's all come to pass. Like if they just. If it was just a thing like, they split, cool. But now it's because he split because of this, that. But like when I see Jordan Smith, I'm thinking mad things. I'm like, rah, you with him? I thought she was with Dave for a second time. Like, it got all mad.
The way I see it is like, if you're not getting the truth from both sides, then bruv, just leave it, bruv.
Yeah, no. For me personally, it's just all messy for me, man. Like the Chris Brown, that thing with Rihanna, flipping Nicki Minaj, Meek Mill, all of them. Like it's just too much of a mess for me. Like for me personally, I'm not trying to. Like when I look at that, I think God forbid. So like I'm not trying to. Not me. No, I'm good. I don't want my life to be like that. I'm good.
I think it's just good to like I feel like we're on the same page of like keeping the things private, but like with a relationship like Offset and Cardi B, the way they work, it's like they work hand in hand with the press in a certain sense.
Yeah,
but also
with them lot, with like the way that Offset and that the way they attack it, I kind of rate it. Cause he'll address it, he'll apologize, he'll do everything straight up. Similar to the Stormzy thing, but he'll go in depth about it, and like that's one thing. He'll be like, "Yeah, I done this. Yeah, I done A. I done B. I done C." Like, I think vulnerability is what saves him in that aspect, or them lot in that aspect, because they're making themselves very vulnerable. So that way, there's no room to really attack them. Yeah, because once you're vulnerable like that, it goes no room. You can't really, like a shade barrier can't really say, "Oh yeah, Offset done ABC," because we already know. We already told us. So we can't see it in you can't put it in a mad way. Like you can't make it look like he's an idiot.
That's a good advice. That's really good advice you said there, Eli. You gotta be honest. If you do, because if you're doing a madness, there's only a matter of time. You're on borrowed time. So if you do get caught with a madness, you have to be straight up with the thing, fam. Don't be lying. I didn't do it.
Just got to keep it real end of the day, man. Because
I feel like one thing I learned recently, that all depends on field as well. Like with rapper, it's good because vulnerable. It's good once we're vulnerable, our audience can understand it, and others can. But I clocked recently, Kevin Hart, when he tried that, every comedian finished it. Like Michael Blackson, the thing that him and Michael Blackson, they had that ongoing war because Michael Blackson started to at him after he was vulnerable. He was like, "Oh yeah, you cheat with your wife. I cheat with my wife. Everybody cheats with their wife."
So yeah, I'd say so. Yeah,
with the comedy thing,
those three aspects. Time. Yeah, it does still. It does still, but that's a conversation for another day in the comedy side. But like to kind of round up here, we've identified that like time, girls / boys, But I feel like when we talk about boys, we want to kind of bring the female in. So we'll definitely do that at some point. And get the aspect from a female's perspective, because we're only guys and we can't really say what they go through. But guys/girls and also social media. So I think quickly, how can we have, if we're able to have a relationship, which has been done, how can you have one successfully? Just quickly, a couple points.
Just be honest.
Be honest. Be honest. Yeah. Try to, if you can, keep it private, because private is better. If you're at a stage where you're exposed in the public eye on a crazy level, like a Beyonce and Jay-Z and whatever, you don't have to always be posting A, B, and C. Like, just try your best to be a good role model, because if you're two figures, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you could be a role model in whatever retrospective, because Beyonce and Jay-Z, they could be like financial role models. But Cardi B and Offset, like, even though she might do her dancing and whatsoever and her vibes in, she's still seen as somebody that grind. So she's somebody who is a grinder. So you can see different ways of different aspects of something positive. Because there's people that are like, oh yeah, Cardi's a bad B, but she puts in mad work. So they still see her in a positive light. So like,
exactly.
If you're able to do that as a couple, I feel like it's effective. And I feel like you have to be transparent as well. That's one thing I've learned with like seeing like Kanye and Kim. Like, you see that Kim doesn't like certain things because she's still on her journey of finding what she wants to be. And like, because that's another thing. If your beliefs are clashing, you have to find a way to work around it.
And also, you have to respect the partner you're with as well, because it's not just because, oh, I'm a creative, or I can do anything I like. There's some things you just kind of like have to say, okay, there's a certain point in my career where I have to maybe drop that type of act. So it's also respect for the other person as well. It goes back to the core principles of relationship, but it's just how to adapt in that kind of way. Yeah, and then also
keyword adaptability.
Adaptability.
That's what happens all the time in our fields. And knowing when dynamics do change in terms of where we're not doing so well, because there'll be years where it'll be quiet. Let's just keep it a buck.
For real, yeah.
And knowing how to deal with that. Do you know what I'm saying? So adaptability and patience, very key.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right,
correct. Just one quick one before we
go on.
Correct me if I'm wrong. When Kanye had the breakdown, Kim was still with him by his side, didn't it?
It was.
See? So that's another thing. Like, that shows if you go through hardship, like, the whole world thought he was a nutter, but she was still there. So.
She was still there, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, about willing. You need to be willing to do these type of things.
Vulnerability creates relatability.
I think that's a nice way to end on. Vulnerability creates what, Charles?
Relatability.
Vulnerability creates.
Relatability.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say it. But thank you so much, guys, for watching again today. It's another. I didn't even realize we're almost like 15 minutes in. So yeah, I'm gonna round up. Thank you guys for watching today. Comment what you think on the question: can you have a healthy relationship in the creative industry? Comment what you think below. Subscribe. We're gonna have this content, like I said earlier, coming regular. Subscribe to our Instagrams. We're active. Chat to us, and thank you guys for the support. We're growing. We're growing every day, and for our very first video, we love the views. Second one, we love it as well. We're coming true. We're still coming true. So yeah, man. Thank you guys.